I've been seeing on Instagram, I follow a couple of Instagram accounts that are about entrepreneur motivation and mindset. Now, I won't give out names, but let's just say this account was doing some things that were very questionable. So lately, I've been seeing these accounts posting posts about porn use and dating and women. And I've been seeing a lot of those on my Instagram newsfeed lately. And as I'm reading the comments out of curiosity, I noticed that a lot of people have been getting pissed off that this Instagram account, whoever is behind this user Instagram account, has actually been posting content that's not relevant to them. And this is the point that I want to give to you. You can use current events, your stories, or even controversial topics. Now, I know porn use, dating, and women are topics in and of themselves, but you got to ask the question, is this something that my audience can gain value from? Is this really relevant to them? Because for these Instagram accounts, they're in the niche of motivation and mindset. Now, I know there's a lot of people that have their views on these kinds of topics, but is this what they're really looking for? Is this something that's going to give them value? It's not. And see, you got to be careful with what you choose to post as content. You got to keep in mind that it's got to be relevant to your audience. Now, for the topics of what these Instagram accounts were posting about porn use and romantic relationships, it would be more suited for that niche. Those who are into romance, those who are into romantic relationships and studying them. It would be more suited for that niche. But just because you see something getting a lot of attention, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be relevant to your audience. It doesn't always mean that. Now, I see these accounts using this as a way to attract attention, but that attention that they're attracting is not targeted. And what's going to happen if you do this in your marketing is you will piss off a lot of people. Like, you got to be mindful of, if you decide to actually use controversial topics, current events, or stories of any sort, and you can still use them in your marketing. That's no question. But you don't have to be talking about it at great detail, and then there's no point to the story. Every piece of content that you share out there, there's got to be a point to it. It's got to be something that your audience can gain value from. If you're posting things like what these Instagram accounts are posting, and you're targeting the motivation mindset niche, that's not the kind of content that they're looking for. In fact, people that actually spend their time posting those kinds of content are just looking to get attention. And while those kinds of content may get attention, it's not targeted. You got to be mindful of what kind of audience are you attracting from those kinds of posts. Are they going to be targeted? Are they going to be relevant to your niche? And if you're having doubts, if you're not sure if this post can be relevant to your audience, unless you really know what you're doing, don't post it. Post things that are valuable to your target market. Otherwise, you're going to be surprised at how quickly people will simply unfollow you and get pissed off with you because you're diving into a whole area that's not relevant to them. I mean, think about it like, let's say for vegetarians, like let's say your a social media account is all about vegetarians. Can you imagine if they started talking about meat in their content? You know how many people will get pissed off on that individual that's behind that account? It wouldn't be good. So be mindful of the kind of content that you're posting and make sure that there's a point to every story that you share, whether it's a controversial topic, whether it's about current events or stories. You've got to make sure that there's a point and that there's relevance. Otherwise, it's simply not going to work, and you're going to lose your audience that way.